If one can weep, one can heal. Hello and welcome to Liam's Lyceum. I'm your host Liam, aka Hembora, and today I'll be doing a spoiler-free review of Christie Golden's Instrument of Fate. Instrument of Fate is a 1996 fantasy novel by Christie Golden, and it is my first Golden novel not attached to a franchise, but it's set in her own world. I found this in the grungiest used bookstore I've ever been in, and looking up anything about this book will lead you to discovering it deals with rape, as I discovered while I was in this grungy bookstore with a very terrible internet connection trying to figure out what it was about, when in reality I should have just bought it because it was Christie Golden, though I can't remember if I'd actually really read any Christie Golden at the time. This would have been right around the time I read Vampire of the Mist, which is my first one by her. But definitely doesn't start with rape. The book is dedicated to Catherine Kurtz as friend and mentor, and then we get a map of Erthia, or Wereld, which sound a lot like Earth and World, respectively. There are also epigraphs from in-world text for each chapter. We have three characters in the prologue. We have Kallio, a human wizard, Jenkur, an elven bard, and Leander, a prince of the Falara elves. Led by King Kainor, or Cyrnor, they have peace with humans of Byrne. Even Princess Ariel married to the royal line of humans 200 years ago. But the other three elven kingdoms could cause trouble among this racial mixing and friendly relations, and it could lead to war. In fact, that's where it seems like it's going. These three characters want to warn the humans of such an incoming war, and they need to figure out how to warn them. And the answer may lie in music. In Chapter 1, we get to our story proper, beginning with a bardic competition on the borderlands of the Kiras elves and Byrne. In a town called Halinor, Jenkur is present and suspects he'll soon die. Jillian Sonspinner is a lithe and youthful minstrel, a bit coy or awkward, and she has a talent for composition and performance with a voice and her mandolin. Though she seems awkward in a dress, she runs into Jenkur and receives gifts and a thing of potential ill luck, and that is because she smashes her own instrument, sadly. So, again, a little awkward in the dress. She has a twin brother named Kellyan. He is also an entertainer. Beyond this, adventure quickly becomes magical and dangerous, as a certain loot has special properties and a terrifying foe searches for it. While solid tropes of the time, they manage to be unique enough with Golden's characters in swift but effective style. I would say Schwartz actually pretty well describes this book in her blurb as such. This is fantasy in which the fears are as real as the beauties. It's surprisingly a dark story at times, gruesome, heartbreaking, and there are demons at play and men that are a little better than the demons. The Gill, which are kind of an interesting race, fill the role of orcs or something similar, but they're giant rat people. And compared to other fantasy rat people, which are relatively short compared to humans, these are taller. And this small difference makes them more terrifying, I think. There are a few themes of magic here, and that of the head, the hand, the spirit, and the heart. At least is the most structure they're giving. It's definitely not what people call hard magic, which I don't really think is magic at all. But also more dangers looming. There's war, there's monsters, there's disbelief in oneself and in others. There are slavers actively pressing people into thraldom, and Dark is a later character that shows us the abuse against men, as well as women, obviously being on display, and the trauma afterwards. And there is profound loss. There's an unsurprising, I'd say, when you're reading Golden, who wrote of a sun elf that became a vampire in another book and could no longer go in the sun. But either way, when I finished this was one that definitely jumped onto my favorites of the year. Really short, sweet. Golden, I think, only wrote 3, maybe more, books that are not a part of some IP like World of Warcraft or Forgotten Realms or Ravenloft or whatnot. So, anyways, very much enjoyed this one. Liam from Liam's Lyceum. I'll catch you next time.